Hi, I'm Anita Potter from Needles and Hooks. Welcome to the channel. If you could pretty please like, share, subscribe, and we shall get on with this. Today we're going to make a single crochet face cloth. You can call it a face cloth, a washcloth, dishcloth, whichever. That's how it's going to do. So for this project, and the pattern will be available on my Gumroad page for $1 to help support the channel. But if you don't want to do that, you can just follow along with me on this video. So our supplies we're going to need is a US size I 5.5 millimeter hook. I also have a size J 6 millimeter hook because I cannot chain loosely to save my life, and this will help me. So this is only for chaining. And yeah, chaining. We're not knitting. Anyway, a tape measure. Doesn't have to be this long. It's the only one I have. A pair of scissors. A bent hook yarn needle, which, oh my god, where has this been all my life? I've used this for years and I cannot go back to a straight needle. As well as 100% cotton yarn. I chose Peaches and Cream in the colorway Royal. It's a, let's see, where's my, I broke the label on accident. It's a 2.5 ounce skein, and it is a 4-ply, 4-weight yarn. So we're going to use this, and I'm going to try to use the center pull, or maybe not, depending on how much yarn barfs out of it. Let me see, where's the other end? Because I know the other end is somewhere, and I'm getting, maybe that's not the inside. Nope. I was wrong. We will do it from the outside. Oops. Anyway, so I'm going to start with a slip knot here. So I'm going to lay it over my fingers. And I'm going to wrap it around. And then I'm going to turn my hand, tuck it under, pull it through. And I have a slip knot. Make sure you have a long enough tail to weave in later, because it's kind of difficult to weave in short ends. And I'm going to take my 6 millimeter hook here, and I'm going to chain 27. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, let's not get too crazy here, 12, 13, darn it, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So I'm going to move my yarn ball out the way here, maybe. Pull off some yarn. I'm going to switch from my J hook to my size I. So when we go to do this, you're not going to single crochet into this. You're going to go into the second chain from the hook. The first chain will be to help make the height of the row. So we're going to skip this first chain and we're going to go into the next one. Let me move all of this out of the way. We don't need it. And here we go. And you will have 26 single crochets. Yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. Insert into the next chain. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 2 loops. And we're going to do that all the way across until we have 26 single crochets. So here we go. 3, 4. Darn it. Okay. The first row after the chain can be a little fiddly. 5, 6, And I'll talk about my crochet style here in a sec. Let me get through this first row real quick. Well, maybe not quick. Trying to make sure I'm like in frame and not like all over the place like I did on my knitting one. And I'm still trying to figure out how to get this set up better so it's easier. The place I'm doing this in is quite small. There's not enough space. I've got a microphone and a mic stand to my left. I've got my camera, my web camera, on another mic stand to my right. I've got a little ring light in front of me, which is kind of blinding me, but I'm trying to keep the shadows to a minimum. So that's going to come with like experience and time, getting everything set up properly. Because this is only, I think, like the 4th top-down video I've ever done. I did 2 on my other channel where I teach audio engineering. I made a knitted microphone dust cover, and I do need to make one, a crochet one as well. Almost to the end of this row. I'm aiming for about the same size as my knitted face cloth, which was like 9 1/4 by 9 1/4 square. So I'm aiming for that here. If it comes out bigger, that's fine. I don't really mind. I just don't want one that's like small. And in the last chain of this row, if I can get my hook in there, and there we go. We got 26 single crochets, so we're going to start the next row. I'm going to chain 1, turn the work, and I don't know how well this camera is picking it up, but you see there's 2, like the stitches right here. You're going to go underneath both of these all the way through. So we're not going into this chain 1, we're going to go into this single crochet right here, and we're going to do it again all the way across. So, and seeing as the first row is done, this second row will go hopefully a lot quicker. Now, I was talking about, like, I will discuss how I crochet. I don't do the fancy hook action, and I am an under hooker. I take my yarn, let me show you. I insert my hook in through both those stitches right there, and I wrap under and pull through both. That's how I do it. There are people that do it over. I tried it, but I couldn't get the hang of it. And I also don't go twisty with my hook either, because I have carpal tunnel in my left hand. And if this is the right-handed version, you're going to be very confused. But yeah, I'm left-handed. I'm a left-handed crocheter. So, and I kind of like stab at I think they call it the knife hold. I'm not sure. This is always how I've done it. I've been crocheting for, ooh, goodness, well over 20 years. I've been a crocheter longer than I have done knitting, but I believe I'm a better knitter than I am a crocheter. So I still have a lot to learn with doing crochet. I mean, I can do lots of stuff. I can follow a pattern pretty well. But all of my books that show stitch patterns show them right-handed. So I get a little confused with it. But if I just ignore the pictures and just read the pattern, I should be okay. But yeah. And my apologies to the right-handed crocheters. I didn't mean to talk about left-handedness during this video, but that's okay. Rattle off some more yarn. I would talk about it anyway, so we're just going to continue going. And I think I get maybe, 4 rows per inch. Yeah, this yarn isn't the softest yarn or the easiest to glide through a hook, but it softens up when you wash it. I always wash my stuff on hot tumble dry on hot. I've never had any issues. It's 100% cotton. It can take it. I'm just going to continue going. So if my row count is correct, this is row 2, maybe. This is what happens when it has to be so far from me. Because I'm trying to keep it under the camera. That's row 2. Chain 1, turn the work. And that's 2 rows. Now we're going on row 3. Now let's see if I can actually work at my speed. I'm not the speediest crocheter, but I'm also trying to do this. And other things I'm going to do with this channel, I'm going to do stitch patterns to teach you how to read, and teach you how to read like a pattern if you've never read a pattern before. So that'll be good. Since I don't know if a lot of channels actually go over that, on how to read a pattern. But I learned on the fly, because we didn't have, when I started, we didn't doing this, there wasn't YouTube. Like for showing how to do things. Kind of just did it on my own, and some things I got right, other things I got hilariously wrong. But I didn't know any better, and it's like none of the books really showed anything that I have. I've got quite a lot of crochet books. My oldest crochet book, if I could just untangle this mess right here, is from the 1940s, and it was my grandmother's. There's not even an ISBN on it. So I'm going to have to do some research on that to find out, because a lot of it, all of it, I think, in fact, is with size 10 crochet cotton or smaller. So, and I have the tiny hooks. So maybe one of these days we'll actually make something like a coaster, or I don't know, I don't want to get too fantastical with it. Make sure I'm getting just one. I don't know what happened with that stitch. There we go. With it, like doing giant, because I've seen people make sheer curtains with the cotton thread. And I was like, I like small projects, like coasters, bookmarks, stuff like that. Okay, I'm going to go one more row, and I'm going to like measure it, because I do think it's around an inch. Make sure I'm still in frame. Yeah, I might try a different angle with this. The next one I do, because it's top down, and having my yarn and project so far away from me where I'm not looking down at it like I normally do when I sit and work. And it looks like this yarn would like to split a little easy too, so I'm like trying to pay attention to what I'm doing and not split my yarn. Oops. It helps if I actually wrap the yarn around and pull it through. Might help to complete the stitch. But yeah, I've got a lot of like things I want to do on here that I don't really see other people doing. It's like everybody's got the yarn haul videos and stuff, and it's like I only buy yarn when I need it. And I do have an Ice Yarns cart going, but I don't need it right now. But I will eventually. And I don't want to put too much stuff in there. What? How many is that? That is 4. All right. Let me. See, size J probably wasn't big enough. So next time I go and do a crochet project, instead of a size J, I'm going to go up to a K size, which I'm not sure what the millimeters are on that one. So I have no idea. So I'm going to measure this, and I can't measure from here because, well, I'm missing the little metal piece. on it, so this isn't, no, so that's, yeah, it's a little over 1 inch. So, it's like 1 1/8. Okay, so I'm gonna go like 6 more rows and then we will take a break, because right now it is 99 degrees outside for no good reason other than it's 99 degrees outside. And it's hot and my AC is off. But I do have my ceiling fan on because I'm pretty sure you probably hear it too. Being all ceiling fanny. Get some more yarn. I wish I could have center pulled this. If I was smart, I would have rewound it. But, and I'll have to show how one of these days, how I wind my yarn. Because I don't have a ball winder, but I have a drill. And you can't see it, but I'm grinning. Make sure I'm staying in frame here. This is row 5. Yeah, so if you have a problem with chaining loosely, definitely go up 2 hook sizes. It also depends on the yarn as well, because I knit with Fun Fur, and oh darn it, see, I split my yarn there. Let's not do that. With Fun Fur, I haven't had Fun Fur in a while, but when I was knitting with it, I used size 10.5 needles. But it would flare at the bottom, and then my tension would tighten up to normal. So I'd have to start with the 2 sizes lower, which would be a size 9 needle. Go for 1 inch, knitting just garter stitch, and then you switch back to like the 10.5s, and it's like you can't really see the stitches anyway. So, and it worked perfectly. So that's how I do that. Even though this is a crochet video and not a knitting one. I wouldn't be able to crochet with the fancy, fun, furry, fuzzy yarns without having something like this with it, because I won't be able to see those stitches. It's row 5. I'm going to go 10 rows. I got 6. This yarn's getting in my way. And then I constantly have to look at my computer to make sure I'm actually in frame. I'm not going to do a border on this. It's just a washcloth. Its main purpose is to like clean things, like my face, after work and before I go to work. And I do want to see how a crochet washcloth face cloth goes, because I don't have one. I've always all of my face cloths are knitted, and I've only got the one, but I've got a lot of dishcloths that I knit. So I just wanted to see how a crocheted one would stand up. It'd be a lot thicker, which is fine. And I will wash it this weekend and then use it just to see how it goes and how I like it. I like my knitted one that I made. It's like, oh, so much better than that crappy one I was using that I bought like a billion years ago. It's thin, doesn't really do much. It's not very big. It's a small one. That was row 6. Here we are with row 7. And when I get to the 10th row, I'm going to measure the width to make sure it's where I want it to approximately be. Now you could do a gauge swatch if you wanted like a smaller one or a bigger one. So when you make a gauge swatch, you use the yarn and the hook you're going to use, and you're going to count your stitches. When you like make like a 4x4 square, I would chain like, I don't know, somewhere between 10 and 15 stitches, and then single crochet Actually 11 or 15 stitches. I like an even number, thank you very much. But it would be the chain number would be odd, but your single crochets would be an even number across. That's what I would do. And then you count like the center 2 to 4 and then get your gauge that way. I don't normally do measure for the height, because height can always be checked. Dang it, I split the yarn again. Height can always be checked with the tape measure. Width, not so much. So width is basically more important, because I could always lay the piece down and measure from the top to the bottom. See, this is how we count rows. I don't know how that's going to show up very well. That's 2, 4, 6, 7. That's the 7th row. Yeah, I really should have used that K hook. Oh well, that's fine. And we'll go with row 8. Maybe. My yarn is getting out of control. And we'll do this row and 2 more. Measure our width. And I won't do it at the bottom. I'll measure it towards the top row, because this is for me, and it's like, if I was making it to like give to somebody or sell, I would definitely sit there and do it properly. I'm not that all finicky and fussy with stuff that I make for myself. But if I'm, like I said, giving it away or selling it or whatnot, I'll make sure I do the proper gauging, and like use a bigger hook to do my chaining with, so it doesn't like curl at the bottom. That's row 8. It's almost done. And crochet tends to go, depending on the size of your project, tends to go a lot quicker. This won't take 3 hours like that knitting video did. It's row 8, chain 1, turn my work. Here we go with row 9. Under both of those loops. Because some patterns will say through the front loop, which whatever's facing you will be the front loop. And then the back loop is the one that's in the back. I don't know how well this is going over, but this is back here is the back loop, up here is the front loop. And I'm hoping I can get a better handle on doing front and back post double crochets, because I haven't really messed with that too much. And making like stuff. We will make sampler winter scarf. I mean, yes, it's July, it's hot. It's really hot. I'm afraid to look at my phone. I don't want to see it say 100. Okay, it still says 99. Please only just still be 99, because that would just not be fun. Oh, shush phone. Oh, now it says 97. Okay, good. I didn't want to. I don't need to be in triple digits, thank you. I've got a heat advisory for the next 2 days, because we're going to be in the 90s. Dangerously getting close to 100 degrees outside. It's like, ugh. This weather this year has been just weird. Let me just get some yarn here. A lot of heat. Places we're getting a lot of rain. A lot of tornadoes and stuff. It's been a weird year already. And it's like normally we don't get, it's about mid-July, I guess. Because these temperatures, we were getting 90-degree weather back in like June. And it's in May. And I'm like, we don't normally get that till mid-July and August. Why are we getting these heated temperatures now? It's like miserable. We haven't got much rain to do anything with. It's been so dry out here in Colorado. It's ridiculous. It's row 9. And then we're going to go and do row 10. And then I will take a measurement that's up here and not down here. one more row and then we will take a little break. I need to turn that AC on for about 10 minutes because it's hot. It's so hot in here I can't even feel the ceiling fan. It's beyond ridiculous. So hopefully this microphone is working well. I can see it from over here. Because the way I did my last video was at the desk with the sharp corners. And I'm on my card table now that doesn't have the sharp corners. I'm also trying to make sure I stay in frame and not travel out. Because I've only got one shot at this. Okay, so close. Three more stitches to go, and then row 10 will be done. Alright, I'm just going to chain one, and I'm going to lay this down. And yeah, I'm gonna check the, move my hook out from underneath. Yeah, because you can see I should have used a bigger hook because it's like curving right here. I should have used a bigger one. So I'm gonna check my width, not using, I really need to get a new tape measure. Rattle this out. Let's see, how big is this? So yeah, it's 9. Let me scoot up here. So yeah, it's about 9 1/4. 9 1/4. Since it says 10, but or maybe it's close to 10 1/2 or 9 1/2. That's fine. I'm not picky. It's close enough. So we've got 10 rows, and just for the heck of it, let's measure that out. And that's about 3 inches ish. So we'll do another, take a break, and we'll do another 10 rows. And hopefully this won't take very long to finish. Now we're back and we can get started with the next 10 rows. So I've finished off with row 10. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I've already chained one, so I'm going to turn my work and do another 10 rows and see where we're at. So crochet, dang it, crochet takes a lot less time to really do, but it also takes up more yarn. And I really need to, like, can I have some yarn, please? There we go. So, yeah, when I do things, I always end up buying more skeins of yarn than I really need, just to be on the safe side. Because when I go and, like, do the scarf, the sampler scarf project, I'm going to buy 2 skeins of yarn. That way, because I'm going to make mine wider. Because the scarves I made before, they were on like the width wasn't, the width of it, maybe about right to here with it, but I really wanted like a lot longer. So yeah, this would be a good width to start with, but I also use larger hooks and larger needles for it. I'm going to do both a knit sampler scarf and a crochet sampler scarf. So we can have like projects for both. And you can do one or the other, or you can do both. But I have to get the yarn for that. And I have to pick which stitches we're going to do. Because the stitches, patterns, different patterns or whatever, some of them require multiples. They could be a multiple of 5 plus 3. And we will go over multiples when it comes up. So I have to be careful when I pick things, because things like single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, half treble crochet, and treble crochet work on any number of stitches. But some of the other patterns require a specific multiple. It could be a multiple of 2 or 3 or 3 plus 1. So I have to be mindful of that when I pick all the stitches for it. That way we can have a nice finished winter scarf with a bunch of different stitches on it. Give it some like texture. And I will go through all my books that I have, because it's been a while since I've done any kind of stitch patterns other than single crochet or half double crochet, because I've got a huge single crochet blanket I'm working on for my son. It is right now a UFO unfinished object, and I'm trying to get that done before fall. I originally bought 3 let's see, it was Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo in burgundy. I bought 3 of those, and I'm on my 3rd skein of that. And I'm thinking I'm gonna have to buy 4 more. I don't know yet. I'm waiting to finish that skein of yarn to measure the length, because the length, my son is over 6'2". So I'm aiming for a 7-foot long blanket. I believe it's 4 foot wide. It's 180. I started with 181 chains, and there's 180 single crochets across each row. So it's not quite, I'm not sure how long it is right now. I haven't measured it, but I will once I get that done with that 3rd skein of yarn. Because we live in Colorado, in winter it gets cold. So he needs to have a nice warm blanket. Because I made one a long time ago, but in blue, but it was only 6 feet long. So it took, at the time, Red Heart Super Savers had 8 ounces in their solids. Years had passed since I had bought yarn, and I went to buy another skein to do something, and it only had 7 ounces of yarn in it. I was like, dang it, now I'm going to have to redo my patterns that I have. And base it on a 7-ounce skein and not an 8-ounce skein. I mean, I still had yarn left over, but I was highly annoyed. So we will, yeah, that one was, I did it in blue. I think it might have been royal blue. Kind of darker, a little darker than this color. But we can't find it. We think somebody stole it, which is sad. He was not happy. So I'm making one in burgundy, and that one's called Big Red. He wanted it like regular bright red, and I'm like, I really don't want to be staring at bright red for like a while, because that would get on my eyes. That would bug my eyes. I don't even know what row I'm on right now. Chain 1 and turn. So 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. I'm on row 14. Now I'm hoping this video isn't going to take 3 hours like the knitting one, because knitting is smaller stitches on smaller size needles. I mean, the size 8 basically in knitting needles is a size H crochet hook in US terms. I'm not sure what the millimeters on that is right now, because I don't have my hooks over here next to me. Oh, it's starting to get really hot in here again. If only I could just have the AC on and it not blast over my microphone. Yeah, my goal is to get like a better camera, because right now I'm using my web camera, and I need like a more permanent setup for it, as my ball of yarn just flies all over the place. I wish I had the center pull, but I didn't feel like digging in the center of it to find it. Just like with the other ball yarn I used for my other video. And I also, what I failed to mention, I'm an underhooker But I also don't like wrap the yarn around my fingers like that. I'll have it like this under, I don't know if you can see this very well, under my middle ring and pinky finger. And it'll be wrapped around just my index finger. That's what I use to control my tension. This holds the yarn, this controls my tension. I haven't really had any issues doing it that way either, because I've been doing this for so long. And when I started crocheting, I was trying to make, I don't know, a square, like following a specific gauge with a specific hook, and I was like, I can't get this gauge right. I don't understand what's going wrong. What am I doing wrong? Turns out I would have been fine, but I kept going just under the front loop, and then I would turn it and I would go through the back loop on the next one. So I had like a back side. So this is reversible. The ones when I first started crocheting weren't. So because I was taught wrong, and maybe my mom was taught wrong too. I don't know, but that's how I was doing it until like years and years later, when I was like, I don't understand, what am I doing wrong? And then I found like some kind of technique or whatever, or something on some website somewhere that says make sure you go through both loops on the hook in the chain, like right here. And I'm like, what? So I made the block again, and the gauge came out correct. I was like, are you kidding me with this? I've been doing it wrong this whole time. So now I'm doing it correctly. Except for I'm going to do a series, my series UFOs to FOs. I have a bath rug I'm making. I'm hand knitting the I-cord, but I'm crocheting it just like how I described when I was doing this wrong. I'm like going just through the front loop, and then on the wrong side I'm going through the back loop, because it's very thick yarn that I'm making. I'm not sure. I think it might be a size 5 or 6. I'm not entirely sure, but that's how I'm making my rug, because I'm just using up my scrap yarn that I'm not doing anything with to make it a rug. Yeah, I apologize, my phone notifications keep going off, and I can't put on do not disturb or turn off my notifications, because I do have kids and stuff, so that might need mama for something. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, row 16. And we're just grooving along. It's going a lot quicker. This video may end up being maybe an hour and a half. I'm not sure, because I want to have, like, I want it to be as square as possible. So when I get done with row 20, we will measure the length again, just to see how far we are from the finish. And then we'll take another break so I can turn the AC on for a few minutes, cool off my little work area here. Table's shaky. Yeah, next time I go to do this, I'm going to try and see if I can like angle it a different way. Instead of like overhead right at me, at my hands, I could be like more comfortable sitting back in my seat instead of leaning forward. But nothing will be as uncomfortable as making that knitted one. That was obnoxious. Let's go 16, we're at row 17. Gauge really isn't that critical unless you're you're wanting a specific width. So unless I'm making like, I've never made a crochet wearable, so maybe that will be something we could all do together. Like a jacket or something. And we'll do a knitted version too. I kind of want to learn how to do crochet cables. I've never done a crocheted cable. I've done knitted cables. So that ought to be interesting to do. I'm going to do little fun projects like this. Doesn't take up a lot of yarn. Or this crochet just might take like an hour or so. Hour or two. So under 2 hours, depending on how fast you crochet. So get through row 17 here. We'll be on row 18 here in a sec. Get to the end. Chain one, turn the work. 18. So 3 more rows and we'll measure our length. Making sure I'm still in frame. I have to, I was like, you won't see it, but my web camera is a wide angle lens, so there's like distortion at the ends. So I have to go into DaVinci Resolve and set a filter to fix it. So it's a little more flat, not looking all weird. I have to, I think, render it in place, but I have to see more tutorials on that because I did a video on my other channel where I put that was it that fusion effects thing on it to flatten the video out a little more, and it took forever to render out the final video. So I do want to find a quicker way to handle that so I'm not fiddling with it at the end, because this video is going to be over an hour long, so it's going to take a while to render out the final version here. One turn. Got 2 more rows. We're on row 19. Maybe if I get my yarn out of my way. Oh, what I wouldn't give to have a proper studio setup, but not in this place. This place is small. It's too small for that. My living room is like really tiny, and I can't do this in my bedroom because, well, my computer's in the living room. And even though I did buy USB extension cords for my little ring light and for my web camera, it won't reach that far. There's no light in there, so that's why I'm stuck in the living room making do with what I have, which is all one can do. Finish row 19. Maybe. Okay, come on. Get that. There we go. Okay, now we're ready for row 20. Yeah, doing simple things like this can be like completely just mindless. You could just like chain some stitches and have at it, watching TV or a movie or whatever. And so I usually like will have something on YouTube running in the background so I can have something as background noise, just so I can concentrate on what this is, and if something comes up on the YouTube video, I'll stop and look and see what I missed. So that's what I do. Usually I would have music going, but I don't have, my computer does not have a CD player in it. So it's like all my stuff is mostly on CDs. And I would have to burn them into MP3s or whatever to have them as background music. But that would take an incredibly a long amount of time to do it because I have a lot. And it's like, I don't want to sit there and try to do this. This is just going to take a while. So I'm not worried about it. I used to have a lot of my music that I like on my phone when I'm at work, but I can't do that now because of where I work now. Okay, so that's row 10. Let us take a little measure from the top. See if I can straighten this bottom out a little bit more so it's flat. Okay, we won't use the first one. So right now we are at 5.5 inches. So I need to count how many. So it's about 4 rows per inch. So what did I say I was at? About 6.5. 4. So 6.5. No, sorry, that's not 6.5. That's 5.5 because I'm not counting this right here. So 5.5. Oh, basically. Half. So another 2 will make 6. So it's 2. 7, 8, 9. Maybe 3. 4, 12. So maybe 14 more rows. And let me double check the width on here. Oh yeah, this is about, oh my god. So it's like, oh yeah, it's 9. Oh, now it's like, it's close to 9.5 inches. I mean, that's fine. It is what it is. So we will take another break and we will finish this sucker. So I said, what, 14 rows? Maybe 15? We'll see. And we will take a break. I will get my AC on and cool this place off, and we can go again for another 30 minutes. Okay, we're back. We're back. We've got 20 rows. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 rows. We need to do another 14. Now I'm going to do another 10 and measure. So here we go with row 21 here. Make sure I'm in the camera. And let me rattle off some yarn first before I start, because I don't want to be having my ball rolling around on the floor, because that would be no bueno. So row 21. And let's talk about the importance of taking a break. So you don't want to like sit for hours and hours and hours on end. You need to get up and stretch. Get something to drink, go to the bathroom, maybe have a snack, and just like take care of yourself, because that's a lot of things, and I'm guilty of it too. I will sit here, I could sit here for like, as long as the AC is on, because it's like hot, it's like 96 degrees outside right now, and I could just sit there and work on my UFOs for hours on end and not get up to take a break. But you do have to get up and take breaks. Like, I'm trying to get better at it. Like, every 30 minutes, get up, take a 10-minute break. It helps reset you. Get up and stretch, walk around, handle some other stuff while you're and not think about what you're working on. And get some water, stay hydrated, because you don't want to like sit too long You know, so I'm trying to be good about that. Like every 30 minutes, take a 10-minute break and then have at it again for another 30 minutes. And it's like you can set a timer on your phone for 30 minutes and then stop and take a break. Now, see, this is like super simple. It's just one single stitch. It's single crochet. So if I set a timer for 30 minutes, I could like, if a timer goes off, I could set this down, go take a break, and then come back and pick it up and keep going because it's simple. Now, if you were in something that you're doing like an intricate pattern, if your alarm goes off, just finish the row you're on and then take you 10 minutes. Because there are some things that are complicated like cables, lace work, which I would like to do more of that. Because I've never made a shawl either before. That might be a fun project to do with some lightweight yarn in a nice colorway. Because I've not done that. I also have no business making more scarves because I have got a bunch that I've made and they're hanging up in my closet. And I went one year, it's like I'll wear this scarf and then I'll wear another scarf and a different scarf. I also have the same thing with hats. I don't have too many. I think I've only got one crochet hat. I would like to have more because all my other hats are knitted. I also want to make like a messy bun hat because I wear a ponytail and I also wear glasses. So my knitted hats that I have, I split my yarn again. Gotta pay attention when you do that because otherwise it's gonna suck. Because like I wear a ponytail. Oh, come on. Give me a sec here. I'm having all the problems. There we go. Let's try this again. Let me get through this before I start yakking again here. Okay, Jalen, turn. Because I wear a ponytail and I have long hair, my hats tend to ride up. Also, because I also wear glasses. So it rides up and my ears get uncovered. I do not like my ears being cold. Any part of my ears to be cold. So I have to find, I'm thinking the messy bun, where there's like a hole at the top. Maybe, I don't know, like a little ear flaps at the bottom too, if I need them. I'll make one without ear flaps, and if that doesn't work, or if I still have issues with my hats riding up, I will make one with little ear flaps on it. I don't really want to like make one with a tie because I don't tie my hats down. I mean, I have hats that do that, but I've never tied them at all. So, just continuing on. I think this is row 23. Possibly. Oh, I just wish it wasn't so hot. I wish my air conditioner wasn't so loud, otherwise I'd have it on. But it makes a huge racket. It's in the wall, maybe 8 feet from me. And it's loud, and I don't want it going over my microphone. 3. Should be row 24. Ugh, I wish that ceiling fan, I should have just left it going clockwise because I felt like I was getting the air was coming down. But silly me went online, which way should my fan be going in the summer? Counterclockwise. And it's like, I need air. This sucks. The problem is I'd have to climb up in a chair or wait until I pick my son up tomorrow, Like I said, he's 6'2", and he can like get up there and flip the switch. Because my only chair that I'm sitting in right now has wheels, so it's a little dangerous to be standing up on to do this. I mean, I had no choice. My step stool, it's in the kitchen. I couldn't reach to change the light bulb, so I had to use this chair, and that was like scary. But, and I completely lost my train of thought. Where was I going with that? I don't even know. Yeah, because, well, I'm on the top floor. That's where I was going. I'm on the top floor, so the ceilings are higher than everybody else's. Which sucks, because I'm like 5'2". And it's like, I can't reach. And I don't have a step ladder. Of course, I don't have space for a step ladder in this place. I need a drink here real quick. Because we always got to stay hydrated, even though I really shouldn't be drinking soda. I should be drinking water. But it is what it is. Make sure I'm not getting out of frame. I always have to worry about that. Because I've seen some videos where they'll have an overhead setup and they'll be like way down here, only like right in the bottom of the frame, and it's like, and I accidentally did that a couple of times on the knit version of this. But I'm further away now. I can see what I'm doing and making sure I'm actually got my hands underneath my camera. I do eventually want to buy a better camera, a DSLR, and I don't mind this is on a microphone stand that has an adapter for cameras. So I can do the top-down stuff, but I want a more permanent situation with, like, I don't know, my DSLR being attached to a crossbar that I've seen for that. But I have to get the camera first without a wide-angle lens. That way I don't have to go through. I have to put a filter on it and then bounce it with the filter on before I do anything else. So, oh no, I forgot. Seeing as I'm left-handed, oh, this is gonna suck. And I didn't think about it because I can't crochet right-handed. I've tried, failed miserably at it. So I would have to flip the video this way. But seeing as this and all my hooks and stuff, it will be backwards. Oh, the things I didn't think about. Because the numbers will be backwards too. So I will have to put a disclaimer on my right-handed version. And make apologies because I wasn't thinking about that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 25. Row 26. Set some yarn first. I should have enough to finish this and have some left over. Because I want to like use these to make a lanyard. The leftovers. To make a lanyard for my key card. For home. Wait, what did I say? 25? Alright, it's 26. Because the one I have is way too long. I love my St. Louis Cardinals baseball team, and that's what the lanyard is, but it's way too long. I have it knotted at the top, and I think I went over this in my knitted ones, but I have to knot it to make it short enough to where it's not like hanging like low, like past my waist and stuff, because I am short. If you guys have any suggestions for how to make these videos better, I am all ears. Just give me all the details and stuff. And if you have, I have links in the comments disabled, but I do check them because they go to held for review in YouTube Studio, so I will check them ever so often. And I will check the links first before letting them go live onto the comment section under the video. So I am all ears because this is not fun. I mean, well, the crocheting is fun. It's just trying to get everything set up because this place is so small. It's like a giant production just trying to get this stuff set up to where I'm not tripping over everything when I go and take my breaks. This is row 27. We've got 3 more and we'll measure. And then we'll see how many more rows we need to do, and then we'll do them. Maybe I should have the camera lower. I'm not sure. The yarn is getting in my way. So yeah, and if you have any suggestions for like patterns and stuff, absolutely leave those in the comments section below too. I want to try to gauge what you all would like to learn. I was like, there's a lot of stuff with crochet I've not done. Like I said, I've never made a crochet wearable other than a hat. A jacket would be kind of cool for like winter. Because it does get cold up here. The windows in this place are extremely drafty. I think that was 27, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 27, yeah, 27. So I'm on row 28. Yeah, because I want to do like blankets, scarves, hats, coasters. I want to do some stuff with thread crochet with the tiny hooks and size 10 crochet cotton. So you can make like the coasters and stuff out of it. Now I would probably do like I would probably use cotton yarn for some coasters, like the normal size. If I had like scraps of cotton left over, I could make like scrap cotton coasters as well. And it's like still summer, but we should start thinking about what we want to crochet for the winter. Like hats, definitely. Scarves, definitely. Shawls, I have never made one, but I'm willing to learn how to do it. Jackets. I've never crocheted a sweater. I've only ever knit sweaters, so that ought to be interesting. As my ball flies across the table. Okay, this row should be row 29. And I must apologize, my neighbors are noisy. And I'm pretty sure it's coming over the microphone. I can't catch a break with it, so I do apologize. One of these days I will have a house where I won't have to deal with it. But until then, you have my utmost sincerest apologies for the racket that is ensuing against my wall here in the living room. I don't have any control over it. Darn it. Two more rows and we'll measure our length again. 29. We got row 30. My yarn ball is out of control. It's getting smaller. I should have enough to finish this. It's like a 3.5 ounce skein ball of yarn. So we'll do one more row and then we'll measure our length again. Now I would like to find like cotton yarn that's like sport weight. I mean, I've made cloths out of crochet cotton before, the size 10, but I doubled it, but I knit those. I didn't crochet those. And I don't remember what size knitting needles I used. And I did it corner to corner garter stitch. And they're okay for like doing the dishes and stuff. Not so much for like washing my face with in the morning and at night before bed. And we'll do other stuff too, like making crochet. Well, I can't exactly do a knit version, or maybe I can. I don't know. I'd have to look. Like out of tulle, fabric tulle. You can make face scrubbies and dish scrubbies with tulle. I cut it down the middle, but they do sell like the tulle I buy is like 6 inches wide, and I think it's 25 yards. So I usually try to take the cardboard tube out of the center and then take it off of there and cut the sucker with some scissors down the middle of it. All right, let's see where we're at. So it's 30 rows. We are at 7.5 inches. So if I go 2 rows, we'll be at 8. And then 1 more row should be 9. Yeah, this is like 9 and something, so my math was wrong. I think we need another 6 rows before we get to our 9. I didn't do this before. Let me do that again here. Try this again. Oh, so it is 9. Or sorry, excuse me, 8. Because the way this curled up, I have to like stretch it back down because I screwed up and used the wrong size hook in the beginning. So yeah, we're at 8 inches. So I'm gonna say like 4 more rows and then we'll do it again. So we're gonna measure after we crochet 4 more rows, and I don't believe I've gone 30 minutes, and I know this video is long, but that's okay. We're working on this together. I hope. Or you're working on something and you're just listening to me in the background. That's fine too. Okay, look, hook. Let's not do that. Get this back where it goes. I'm gonna go 4 more rows. Almost done, yay! It's kind of almost like an instant gratification project. You can buy like a whole bunch of colors and go to town. Or maybe you don't want to do single crochet, you can definitely do half double crochet. I wouldn't go any further than half double on this, because double crochet tends to be a little holy, like it has holes in it in between the stitches. So for this you can do single crochet or half double crochet, and I'll show you real quick what a half double crochet is. It's like you yarn over and then you insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and then pull through. I can't talk. Pull through all 3 loops. So it's the has an extra little loopy right in the middle right here. It might make it not so stiff, which maybe if I ever get another ball of cotton yarn, I can definitely test that out with, because this is definitely a thick cloth here. And we will go over all the basic stitches when we go and make our stitch sampler scarf. And you don't even have to really make a scarf. You can actually like do a blanket or a throw with it. We'll do all the fun crochet stuff. We'll make like, it's basically like a home accessory here, because one always needs, you need washcloths, you need dishcloths, you need face cloths, whichever cloth you call it. It's okay, however you want to do it. And I've tried making pot holders, but it didn't quite keep my fingers from getting burnt, so I need to like think about that. Maybe I need a different stitch, or maybe I need to do Tunisian crochet with that. I'm not sure. I mean, I do have Afghan hooks, but I can do Tunisian on these, but they're actually just a little too short for that. So I got some big old Afghan hooks over sitting on my shelf over there, which I haven't Tunisian crocheted in years. So I would have to take a refresher course on how to do it. So yeah, we can make sampler blocks, and like I'm gonna say it now, I detest hand stitching so much. I hate hand stitching because it's like fiddly and takes forever. So I want to do stuff where I don't have to stitch blocks together. I will put them together as I go. It's just like with weaving in ends. If you have like a lot of color changes or whatever, I tend to weave my ends into the border around a project, or I'll do it across in a row. That way I'm not having to weave stuff in. So this should be row 2. Yeah, I got 2 more rows, and we will measure again. 2 more rows, yay! I am easily amused. Am I in camera? Yes, I am. I just need to be a little more forward. Yeah, I definitely might, next time I do one of these, lower the camera down, so I'm not sitting, and bring it back, and I'm not sitting so far forward in my chair, because it is a little uncomfortable being this far forward in my chair, and my work is so far away. But this is what I do. I make, like I said, I make do with what I got, and I will figure it out as I go. Nobody starts with professional, like anything, any equipment or whatever, unless that's what they started with. Like, I don't have professional equipment. I've got the ring. My ring light was $10 at Walmart. My web camera, it was like, I think $40 on Amazon, which I probably should have opted for a different brand, but it is what it is. My microphone is an Audio-Technica AT2020, under $100. The mic stand it's on was about, I think, $30. The little adapter I'm using on this mic stand, the mic stand that's holding the camera, was about maybe 25 bucks. Maybe, I can't remember. It was on clearance, I think, at a Guitar Center. The adapter I bought from Amazon was about 14 bucks. Just so I could do stuff like this. 1 more row, and we will measure and hopefully have the right length we want. As close to 9 1/4 as we can possibly get. I'm not putting a border on this. because borders are a whole thing onto themselves. I would just like either single crochet it or slip stitch around and make sure I put like two or three stitches in each corner so you're turning it. But I'm not doing that for this. You can if you want to. It's totally up to you. It's absolutely yours, and you don't even have to pick the same color either. I just picked it because it was there, and I don't have anything that's blue in my bathroom other than my shower curtain, which is blue with the moon on it. So yeah, because I'm silly like that. So close. Ah, every time I get close to finishing something, it's like my hand flips out, my brain goes out the window, yarn starts doing something stupid, and I'm like, see? And my hook doesn't want to hook up the yarn into the stitch. Two more stitches, and we will check. All right. Let's see where we're at. Make sure this whole thing is in the frame, which now it is. Do our little stretchy stretch down to the bottom. Make sure that's flat as possible across the bottom. And we will do our measuring. Oh, crap. Oh, yeah, it's like 9 inches. So I'm not really... Yeah, that's 9 inches. This is 9 and a little bit. And I'm not going to go another row. So we will count how many rows we have. Let me just throw this to the side. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34 rows. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut our yarn with our handy dandy scissors. Good length for weaving in. And I'm going to yarn over on my hook, pull that end through, and fasten it off as best as I can. There we go. That's our completed face cloth. So now I'm going to take our yarn needle and I'm going to fold the end over and pinch it tight like where the fold is, so it's easier for me to wiggle this thing through the eye of this needle. And I'm going to flip it over because I consider this the wrong side and like this the right side, because you can see all the even rows. The back side, you see that kind of like little ridge on both ends. So I consider this the back. You can do whichever you like, and I'm going to weave it through a few stitches. And like back and forth, like I'm gonna go across. Try not to pull it too tight, because if you pull it too tight, then you're buckling your end there. I'm gonna go a little more over, and then I'm gonna weave it back the other direction, which I'm gonna have to turn because I need to see what I'm doing. Okay, so go through these two. And then I'm going to try to get like back that direction so I can cut the yarn. If I can get it underneath that thing. Okay, so now there's that. And I tend to give my stuff a little tug to make sure it's nice and secure and not pinching my ends in. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to snip it as close as I can without cutting the thing. Throw that to the side. I'm going to do the same thing with this one over here. I'm going to fold it down a little bit and then wiggle it through the eye of this yarn needle. Maybe I need to set it down. Make sure I'm underneath here. So hold it, pinch it towards the fold, and then squish it through the eye of the yarn needle. And we're gonna do this. We're gonna do the same thing, and try not to like make it too much here. Let's see. those 3 first, and then, because I don't want to like pinch my end in. And I'll probably just do it like, well, let me see. I should probably go through a couple of these right here, like 3, if I can actually work it through. Pull it, do not pull it too tight, and then work my way back. Don't lose it. Work my way back over. If I could just like find a loop to get it under, and then another loop, and that loop, maybe this loop right here, and then pull it through. Give it a little tuggy tug to make sure it's like not gonna come out. And we'll do the same thing. Cut as close as you possibly can without cutting through your work, because that would be sad. And there we have it, one finished face cloth. All done, all finished, perfect, awesome, wonderful. So this will get a wash this weekend, and I will use it soon. Anyway, let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I am going to eventually make a Discord for this, because I want to stay off of Facebook, because it's like, Facebook is getting on my nerves lately, so I want to just stick to Discord for right now and have it in one spot where we can share projects, and anytime you make a pattern that I make, so I can actually see them. I want to see your finished projects. So I will hopefully get that started sometime next week. I'm gonna be like super busy on Monday, so that's the end of this video. Let me know your comments in the comments section below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.